Okay, good evening, folks. Dr. Freedom here with you. Time some Doctor News. News from in and around the universe that may or may not affect you on some level that we will not discuss here. Now, spoiler phobes, you may want to turn around and leave this particular video because there's going to be some things that we're going to discuss in here that are going to revolve around later episodes of the series, and also some of the stuff we're going to discuss. Somebody came up with a rather interesting theory on the hybrid. And no, I'm not talking about the car that's sitting out in your driveway that can also run on electrics. I am talking about the hybrid. So it's your chance to get out the door now. Okay, I warned you. Oh, here we go. Let's get started. Now, first off here, we got a scan from Doctor Who magazine. Now, if I remember right, this scene is from Hellbent, which is the last episode of the series. And I think that's supposed to be Utah out there. And this was filmed in the same restaurant where they did The Impossible Astronaut. Now, remember, that one where, we saw the, whole doctor died. Then we met the doctor from earlier in this timeline doctor that we can't tell that he died, yada, yada, yada. That whole, that little chestnut. Well, I think that's what they're alluding to here, is that this is the same restaurant somewhere near Lake Silencio. So, take it for what you will. It's actually filmed at, what do you call it? I can't remember the name of the restaurant over near Mermaid Key in Cardiff. All right, keep moving. The Jadoon. Guess what episode they're in? Not this week's episode, but next week's episode, which is, why can't I think of the title? You see, I can never think of the title when I'm tired. You see, of course, we know this week is Sleep No More, and next week is, Face the Raven. Dun, 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 dun. So these guys are in Face the Raven, along with Riggsy and Ishildur. So, and I like how they got her hair done in this one. Nice outfit, too. So, interesting stuff going on in that particular episode. Okay, I can't remember what this one's from, but I think it is Face the Raven. Must be hard holding a conversation when somebody's literally talking out the other side of their face. How many people in my life does this remind me of? Okay. And once again, Face the Raven. Face the Raven. And Face the Raven. Okay, so, I like the medallion. Wonder what that's all about. Okay. This is also, all right, this is from, I can't remember if this was Heaven Sent or Hellbent. More than likely Hellbent, because we know Heaven Sent, so far as we know, is going to be a Peter Capaldi and just the creature. It's going to be a one-hander, apparently. So this must be from Hellbent. Guess who that is? Should I have to tell you? No. Okay. And apparently this is from Heaven Sent, because this is taking place in the castle. This was filmed at Caerphilly, if I remember correctly. Same here. And back to the beginning. Okay, so some interesting stuff that's been getting, passed around on the net, as far as, getting scanned out of Doctor Who magazine. And I'm shocked they're giving away so darn much. But okay, now we're going to run through these real quick. Now, my friend Beefhead gave me exclusive permission to use these photos, and he went to the Doctor Who festival today. So let's go ahead and let's peruse some of them, shall we? Some of these were taken from Twitter. Don't worry, I know which ones are. So let's run through these really quick, as we can see. This is Beefhead having a moment with Clara's outfit. You remember this outfit, Bonnie's outfit from back in the Zygon inversion. So, smells nice. Okay. And of course, he took over the only chair on Skaro. And this, of course, was, I believe, from the writers panel. That's Catherine Turgina. I'm brain farting on who this is. We all know that's Mark Gatiss, and we all know who that is, of course. And Peter Capaldi, one of the photo sessions. And this was also Beef meeting up with Lisa Bowerman. And my brain farting. I knew the guy's name before I walked in. You see what I get for doing a video when I'm half awake? Lisa Bowerman, lovely lady. I said, I interviewed her a while back. I'm looking forward to having her back on now that a lot of the hubbub that she had to keep quiet on when we first talked is now out in the air, out in the open, so to speak. So, and look who else was there. Davros. Davros having a bad day. When is he ever having a good day? And could someone, if you know what this is, because we were brain farting. It looks so familiar, but I can't remember what episode this particular alien is from. So if you know who it is, please put it in the comment box. And of course, this is one of the Sandmen from Sleep No More, which you'll see later today if you're watching this now. The Sandman. Oh, heck, how many variants of the Sandman have been used? Okay, Peter Capaldi and my friend Beefhead there. By the way, this was Peter Capaldi's first time out without his cane. So far, so good, according to him. Beef talked to him about that because, as you all know, we talked about this last night where he had the keyhole surgery done on his knee. So apparently it's doing a lot better today. Oops, sorry, I put that one in twice. This was from over at one of the comic booths. And of course, this is the stage awaiting the presence of all those at the panel or whatever. Of course, we know Michelle Gomez, Ingrid Oliver, Peter Capaldi. Some really fun moments here. Check the leather pants. Okay, having a little fun with Davros. And of course, Moffat tells a funny. I can't remember what he said the joke was, but I got a laugh out of it. Look at me, I'm Davros. Don't touch my switches. Don't touch them. Okay. And this is Danny Hargreaves, if I remember correctly. And of course, this was the sack. Yes, they gave you a sack. And his him and his son with Michelle Gomez. And I heard she was rather fun there. And this lady, I wish I could remember her name. She works with the special effects department. If someone knows her name, please put it in the comment box for me. I feel bad. It's just I'm literally half asleep doing this. So, well, we all know who that is. Okay. Of course, Ingrid Oliver, Peter Capaldi, and Michelle Gomez outside the... Apparently, this is a Lego brick TARDIS, by the way. Another shot of them with some folks from the convention. And that's actually all the ones we had for that today. Thanks to Beefhead for giving me permission to use those on the show. I was glad that him and his son were able to get out and enjoy this. And I really wish I could teleport to England or something to go to one of these, but it's not likely to happen anytime in the near future, given the fact that weirdness ensues and things happen. And one of these days, maybe in the distant future, I'll make it over there. But okay, but off that, let's hurry up and get through these real quick. Let's go to, okay, teasers. More teasers for Sleep No More. So if you haven't watched it yet, here we go. All right, here's our 10 teasers for Sleep No More. Doctor Who, Clara Oswald. What? You can always tell the grunt, Mr. Sandman. We get the word mucus crust in this episode, which is lovely. Cameras everywhere. The Doctor suddenly gets jealousy akin to Cisco from The Flash. Again, it seems like the scare factor is trying to be upped with Sleep No More. This isn't shot the way in any episode of Doctor Who has been normally shot. Dust to dust, and we're not quite sure what to make of the ending. All right, moving on. 6 things Mark Gatiss teased about Sleep No More. And, well, I'll give you the bullet points. 38th century will be almost unrecognizable. Things will be dark and get even darker, like very dark. A complete new monster will be introduced. The found footage will show different point of views. Some usual Doctor Who trademarks will be missing. And events that occur may or may not be a catalyst for Clara's departure. Okay, Hellbent official synopsis is the series ender for this year. So, do I click on it? It's knocking at your back door. Do you let him in? Okay. If you took everything from him, betrayed him, trapped him, and broke both his hearts, how far might the Doctor go? Returning to Gallifrey, the Doctor faces the Time Lords in a struggle that will take him to the end of time itself. Who is the hybrid? And what is the Doctor's confession? Okay, River Song. There will be romance between the Doctor and River Song in this Christmas episode, says Capaldi. Sorry. Throat's very dry today. Okay, he goes, yes, there is a chance for romance. He said today at the Doctor Who Festival, he goes, I'm trying not to give it away. And because my Doctor is different from the Doctors who were there when Alex first arrived. This Doctor is different from that. It's a different dynamic. And he goes, next year's a different thing, and it's quite interesting and challenging and scary. He goes, I've only done 2 series, but I'm amazed at how fast it's gone. I've done 26 episodes now, and every time you've got through a season and you've discovered all these things about this new Doctor, it's sort of scrapped and you start again. You have to come at it fresh and find new things. and that's quite challenging and interesting. So I'm fascinated to know where we're going to go, because in some ways he's much more amenable, but in other ways he's even darker. So I think that makes for a very interesting character, end quote. So, yeah, he's different from that. But then we have this over on the Express. Peter Capaldi says Time Lord wants to kiss River Song. Romance could be in the air for the Time Lord in the Doctor Who Christmas special this year. Peter Capaldi has hinted. The 57-year-old actor suggested the Doctor wanted to lock lips with his wife, River Song, who will be making an appearance in the festive episode. I asked whether a Time Lord would be getting up close and personal with River. The Scottish star said, quote, I think he'd like there to be some kind of kissing, end quote. Now, the year's Yuletide episode will see Alex Kingston reprising her role as the enigmatic River, who has not been in the science fiction drama since Peter took over the role of the Doctor from Matt Smith. Now, speaking about working with a 52-year-old ER actress, Peter said, quote, it's great, she's lovely. I've never met Alex before, and everyone kept saying that she's lovely. And he goes, Jenna had just left, so I was bereft, sort of companionless, but of course, Alex is a veteran of Doctor Who. She's been in it for longer than I have. But it's been absolutely delightful, great fun, clever, and smart and a wonderful actress. She's brought so much to it that she was great to work with, end quote. And this is from the Doctor Who Festival in London. And a synopsis for the Christmas special was recently released by BBC America, giving fans a taste of what to expect. Quote, it's Christmas Day in the future, and the TARDIS is parked on a snowy village street covered in icicles, awaiting its next adventure. Time traveler River Song meets her husband's new incarnation in the form of Peter Capaldi for the first time this Christmas. So, okay, so then they go a little bit more into that, but not much. And there's some more pictures from the festival if you want to snatch them of different things. So, interesting that they're, going to bring up possibly the romance angle. It's going to be interesting to see how these two interact together. Moving on. Okay, Peter Capaldi asked Tom Hanks to appear on Doctor Who, which, of course, he said he could, quote, I think Doctor Who's a great venue for any kind of actor. Funnily enough, they were trying to persuade me to. I was working with Tom Hanks last night, and the producer was on to me saying, try and persuade Tom to come and be in the show. I did have a word with him, but he is very busy at the moment, end quote. So, as much as we'd like to see it, I'd love to see Tom Hanks in just about anything. I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, and lastly, SyFy is going to broadcast Doctor Who in Latin America. The series has been shown on the BBC HD and BBC Entertainment channels until this summer, when it unexpectedly disappeared from the schedules. 2016 will see it revitalized on the NBC Universal Network's own channel, with Claudia Bermudez Key, Senior Vice President and General Manager in the region, saying the following, blah, blah, blah. So, it's coming back to Latin America. It says right here, Doctor Who Series 7 is currently being shown on SyFy in Portugal, and Series 8, plus Classic Stories and Torchwood, is airing in Australia. The series also has been broadcast previously by regional channels in Spain and the Netherlands, with Torchwood being shown in Germany and France. And you can keep up to date with the broadcasts around the world via This Week in Doctor Who. All right, sorry I drug out a little bit longer than I should have, but, things, happen, things go on. And, I had to get this stuff done. Plus, Beefhead wanted me, he said, look, you can go ahead and use those pictures. That's the only reason why I went ahead and used them tonight. And like I said, I'm just very, very glad they went out there, had a great time. Because when I go to a convention, that's my primary focus. People are like, oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I said, yeah, I did put in some info for Miles and all that, but she's so busy lately. I doubt I'm ever going to hear from, back from her people anytime soon. I did try to arrange an interview and whatnot. And, it's just, she's also landed a role in Victoria. And, you got to have some patience on that angle. So hopefully in the long run, maybe I'll hear back from them. Maybe I won't. But like I said, my primary focus when I go is just to have fun and enjoy yourself. And I'm glad they did. Well, I'm out of here for tonight. So take care, Tatcha. I'll catch y'all later on the files. The Omega Files for Sleep No More. Tonight, recording at 6 p.m. Eastern. Later, folks.